What's happening? Coach McGee. Thanks for stopping in. What's up, Marcus? As y'all start coming in, I'm about to run in this bookstore. I don't know why I started this yet, but I want y'all, if you can, try to answer in as least word, in the least amount of words as possible, the question that I posed, in the title of this video. What is the real enemy of black people? Everybody who comes on, I'm asking you to, because we're gonna go around this bookstore real quick. I'm just gonna hop in here just to peruse real quick, see if anything jumps out at me. But while I'm doing that, which is just gonna take a minute, because I gotta go and pick up my babies. But I want y'all to just one word, 2 words, just as few words as you can. What's the enemy of black people? Themselves. Okay. Themselves. I wish this was like Google Hangout where we could mentality. Okay. Coach McGee say mentality. Marcus says themselves. I wish this was like Google Hangout where we could actually talk. Maybe. Shit. There goes my headphones. Maybe we'll do a Google Hangout one time. So we got themselves, mentality. Anybody else, if you what's the real enemy of black people? That's the question. It's open. The floor is open for you to chime in with what you think in as few words as you can. Belief system. Sister Zeta says belief system. Okay. Y'all keep it going. I'm just gonna run in here. I'll spin the camera around. Let's see if anything good is in here. And you don't have to, if you think of something else, put it on in the chat. Just gonna run in here while I got a chance. How you doing? Let's see here. If anybody else got anything, put it on in. Dark Majesty. Let's see. This looks interesting. Lack of knowledge. Okay. Hey, what's up, bro? Dark Truth. You just now coming on. Oh, ego. Okay. Well, it's too packed in here. Too many people in there. I guess since they closed down the one by my house, it's like, damn, that shit look like Walmart in there. Damn. It's too many people. But I saw few potentials in there. Okay. So let's see what all we got. We got humanity, ego, dark truth, chime in. We're talking about what's the enemy of black people in as few words as you can. Belief system, mentality, themselves. Okay. Well, while I'm driving, got a few minutes before I get to my destination, I'm gonna throw something out here that may sound a little odd. And it's you know, the world, the universe is full of paradoxes and victim mentality. Okay. Y'all all own it. I mean, of course there are no wrong answers. I'm gonna throw something out here. Let's see, unless anybody else want to chime in. Just, you know, throw it in the mix. I'm gonna say that I think the number one enemy of black people, and then, you know, one day we're gonna have to come back and hash out defining what that is, black people. But in the context that we think, I'm going to say the number one enemy of black people is the idea of unity. Let me do a Ralph Smart on you. Slow motion the other way. The idea of unity. Now hold on now, Jamal. Now hold on now. That don't sound right. The idea of unity, I think, is the number one enemy of so-called black people. Why, Jamal? Now just think. Just think. If the last video I did, I talked about leaders. I've been building up to something. See, we talked about this in the class Friday. Today, when I did that video earlier today, I was right beside the Masonic Lodge in Fort Worth off of I-30 in Henderson. And that lodge looks like a high school. It's so big. And you have to ask yourself, what all goes on in there? I mean, are they just in there having chicken wing dinners, having musicals? When I went to Indianapolis, we busted up in the York Wright Lodge, and you know, we played dumb like we ain't know shit, and just, you know, oh wow, look at this, and you know, they let us go in most of the floors, but there was one floor they wouldn't let us on. Floor number 7. They wouldn't let us on that floor. And that was the Egyptian display. But what really goes on in there, in that lodge? What if one of the greatest conspiracies is the idea of unification in your human form? Now this I'm gonna expound on this. So we kind of touched on this in class. Let's take the Big Bang idea in science. And let's say the Big Bang idea is a representation of fission. So you got fission and you got fusion. A fissure is where something separates. Okay? When something fuses, it comes together. So we can say that an explosion, things are going out, separating, with like they fissure. And an implosion is where things collapse on themselves and then create a catastrophe. That'd be fusion. So if our existence began with something separating and exploding to get us, and then for us to maintain life here, we have to go through some form of fusion, which would be sex. When a man and woman, come together and cohabitate, they fuse, and out of them fusing, they create life here. Now I'm talking on an occult level here. I'm saying that if we have come far enough in our studies and our understanding to know that this that we live in was never supposed to be salvaged, it was supposed to be something that we experienced and then overcame, or we were supposed to overcome it or transform through it, then wouldn't it be as above, so below? The same way you came in is how you're going to have to go out. So that means, what I'm trying to say is, if explosion brought you in here, then it's going to take an explosion to go out. Ralph Smart again. Slow motion the other way. So everybody claims that their number one objective is to unify black people. But isn't it ironic that the more you say you're looking to unify your people, whatever that is, your people, and you got to ask, so what are you basing that on? Are you basing it on complexion? Are you basing it on camaraderie, shared experience? We got it. That's a whole nother discussion. But your people, you want to unify your people. But the more you say that, the more you, on the other hand, you contradict by saying, I want to unify everybody, but the only way it's going to happen is you're going to have to do things the way I see them. That's because that's the only way that it's going to work. The only way it's going to work is I got a plan and you're going to have to follow it for us to be unified. And what that does is it forms more division. Who was that said? Ego. That go your ego right there. Ego. I got the answer. I have the truth. And if all it would take is for you imbeciles, you dum-dums, just to damn wake up and realize that my way is the way. And if y'all would just do that, then everything would work out. The problem is y'all won't see it my way, therefore we can't unify. That's a contradiction. It's a contradiction. So what happens is, through all of the I got the answer, you create more division. But here's the paradox. That shit is divine in itself. This is what's fucked up. It's crazy. This is what's crazy. Now I want you to stay with me on this. I've been really pondering on this concept of quote unquote black people at each other's throats acting crazy. And I've run the gamut. I've said, this is some agent shit. This is just, then I had to really step back and really think about it and say, let's just take the story of when Psyche met Cupid, mythology. Venus gets jealous of Psyche. Psyche's a human. She gets jealous. Venus is a god. Cupid is a god. And she gets jealous of Psyche, mad at Cupid, and they beefing and this and that. And then she got to go and get Juno to rein in. Jupiter got to weigh in. Everybody's weighing in and get all this conflict, beefing. Oh, you think you better than me and this and that. And I'm like, oh man, that's some nigga shit. That's black shit. So then it's like, wow. Wow. So on one end, I'm looking at it like, this is crazy. Look at this shit. All this beefing, all this, this one saying this, talking shit about this one, and that, da da da. And then I have to take a deeper look. And it turns out that no matter what happens, it's all divinely laid out. Am I making any sense? So in a sense, the idea of unifying it's more so than it being the enemy of black people, it's the enemy of you. That's what I should have titled this. The idea of unifying, as much of a fallacy as it is actually hurling the people who wear these superhero suits called black. It is actually hurling them further down their road of destiny, our road of destiny, to the next paradigm, the next world. But if you're not able to put yourself in the proper perspective, then it hinders your individual, because ultimately you incarnated into your own spacesuit for your own journey to carry out your own mission. So the idea of spending so much time on is saying that it's very egotistical, because it says you got the shit figured out. And then it takes time away from your own actual development, because you're spending too much time trying to volley and jockey for other people what they need to be doing that aligns with whatever you say is the right way. When in reality, this shit is all a fucking game. I have gone back and forth with this shit, and I have said, this shit's all a fucking game. All of it. This whole existence, it's a game. It's a game. It's literally like a video game. It's a game. My daddy's always tell me, he's like, you got to play the game. 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 You got to play the game, boo. Play the game. So the most magical thing I think we can do individually is play the fucking game. Nobody has no answer for nothing for nobody. Not for you, not for nobody. They have no safety net to save you. They have nothing. Only you exist. So what if the people who sit behind these thick walls in these secret organizations, what if that's what they fucking know? What if they know the number one way to retard the forward momentum of creating the world to come is to keep giving you the idea of fighting to unify? Because once you fight to unify, you have a leader that has to be on the forefront. And that leader has to joust with other potential leaders to see who's going to come out on top. Let me tell you something else too to ponder on. Whatever black is, especially here in America, everything follows behind you. You start sipping on lean, little white children start sipping on lean. You have a crack epidemic in the 80s, goddamn opiate epidemic 2018. Shit's so goddamn bad, it's all on motherfucking CNN, NBC, ABC, Fox, motherfuckers crying and shit. Nobody was crying when Lenny Byers overdosed. Nobody was crying when countless motherfuckers in my family done gone to prison. There was no outreach, you know, oh, we gotta do something. It was, we gotta get tough on crime. But the thing is, every trend that you set, the world follows, the universe follows. So don't you think it's probably divine? Now I know this shit sounds crazy. It's divine that we can't fucking get along. I'm talking on an occult level. I'm talking from an understanding. Once you have studied a fair amount of Gnosticism, a fair amount of Hindu lore, a fair amount of Egyptology, a fair amount of Sufism, whatever the hell, you know that there is a world to come. Kabbalah, building the world to come. Well, that means that the insanity then that we see and that we sit and we shake our heads at is actually divine. Now, the mere fact, what separates you from the other people though is the fact that you have the ability to objectify yourself and to sit back. You have the ability to objectify yourself and sit back and see all of the shit unfolding. See, that is based on your supremacy as far as the level that you have risen to. You have risen to a level where you're able to sit back and see the whole thing. So that means you become a lighthouse. You become a beacon of light. Whereas when people are looking for the next horizon that we're to go to, out of the darkness comes the light. Well, some light's got to be shining. That becomes you. So I know this shit may not make no damn sense. Sometimes it can't always make sense. But go back and really just ponder on what I'm saying. Why is it we don't get along? Why is it we can do all this talking about Claude Anderson and Boyce Watkins? He's got an economic plan and all this, and Dr. Umar gonna build a school to take care of I'm in fucking Texas. What does it matter about a motherfucker building a school in Philadelphia? I mean, we don't even think. Wouldn't it make more sense to have a curriculum to go around the country? See, that's a whole nother. See, that in itself, that right there is disheartening on one end that we can't fucking think critically. But on the other end, that's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be chaos. It's supposed to be chaos. It's not supposed to, we're supposed to be taking a smooth Cadillac ride up out of here. That doesn't mean that you can't have you a decent little house. You can't have your little decent running car, take you a couple of trips. You know, that don't have nothing to, you ain't supposed to, you don't have to be around here sipping soup, you know, and with the white mouth and crust around your lips, you know. But this idea of everything is going to be beautiful, everything's going to work. No, it's not. It is not. And we are fucking nuts. Even the motherfuckers who think that they're the thought leaders, motherfuckers are nuts. Have we ever stopped to think? I keep saying this, and it's like it's not a joke. It's real shit. How if you unseat the society to the way it is right now, and you are dependent on it, who the fuck is going to maintain the bridges? Just think of something that simple. Who's going to maintain the bridges? Because you ain't about to be riding no horse and buggy around here. Come up off the dumb shit. Who's gonna, when the damn lights go out on them tall ass lights on the highway, who gonna get up there and replace? You think I'm gonna do it? We'll be riding around this motherfucker with flashlights. I mean, that's common sense. We talk in such grandiose, flavorful, dream language, and it's not, it don't even make sense. There's only one definite answer, and that's called the doorway. That's a doorway. You know, them old ladies used to sing about that in church, or them old deacons. I'm building me a home. Oh man, I'm building me a home. Kabbalah, building me a home. That does not say you got to be dismissive and just around here don't, you know, smelling like, you know, old gym shoes and shit, you know. Don't come around me with your underarms stinking. You know, that's not saying that. You're not supposed to bow out of life. You came here to experience this. Not to run from it, not to hide, to experience it. And then you were to get to a point one day when you realized you were in a game. Just the realization that you're in the game and the fact that you can still maneuver in it, that makes you divine. All right. That's it for my rant. I know this shit was all over the place. Shit might not have made no sense, but, you know, think about it. Think about it. Brother Jamal, mastersofthecosmos.com. Get on over there and get your download of Trump's Wall and the Occult Destiny of America. Peace.